In this video, we'll try to do something like what you see on the screen. We will create a cloud server, and using that cloud server, we'll try to control an LED. So we need to write a PHP program which will create two buttons to make LED on and LED off, right? And using the status of these buttons, we need to switch on the LEDs and switch off the LEDs. This is something similar to what you have done on the Raspberry Pi server. Instead of doing it on the Raspberry Pi server, we are doing it here on the cloud server. How to do this? Once again, the HTML codes which are required for this already known to you, because you have done the same thing for Node MCU, Raspberry Pi, and now you're doing it for the cloud server. How to do this? As usual, you need to write a PHP program. The PHP program is very similar to the one you have done for Raspberry Pi. So let us check that PHP program. How does it look like, right? So we will just see those what is there in this. Okay, so I'll just open this with Notepad, or else you can open with uh, Notepad plus also, right? So I can just open this using Notepad plus. So here is the program. See, the initial program, okay, which is actually from here to here is to create that button. This LED button creation is already known to you. It's not that something you don't know, because you have done it for Node MCU, you have done it for Raspberry Pi. Now you're doing it here. Okay, so I'm not going to explain you this. A little bit beautification is there compared to what you have done earlier. That is by giving color here. Okay, we are given background color as a green here. We are given different color formats. So please go through some of the literatures about HTML, how it has been done. Right, so here you see href status is equal to on. Here you see status is equal to off. This is what it is going to send in the get function, using get method, right? Say all these things are beautification. Say font size 20 and margin 10, padding 5, all these things you can just get information from any of the tutorial. What comes next is, see, you will get something moment you press the button, LED on and LED off, right? Okay, see here, moment you press button on here, can you see here, you get on here. This is what actually it gets to a get function, get method. Now whenever you press off, this is what the response it gives to the request. See, clicking this button, actually this is what it is sending, requesting to the server by giving the status is equal to on here. Okay, similarly here the status is giving us off. So how to do that is through this. See, here it gives status on, status off. Okay, so this is what you need to know about this href, right? So whenever you execute this on the browser, what it sends whenever your request is on and off. The status is going as on and off. Okay. So now we are using same thing here. That variable status which are reading from here, we are sending it to the database. Right. In the variable status, we get on and off. The same thing we are sending it to the database. And you all know that whenever you send the data to the database, you need to write the PHP program. As usual, we have to see. I will talk to you about this if condition later. So what you need to do, meant you connect to database, you need to mention the host, mention user name, mention password of the database, and then database name. So these four statements are used to connect to the database. After that, you connect to the database using all those four credentials. Then get the date. Then get the date. Okay. Now, before this, what you need to do, you need to create a database. See, you need to create a database. Okay. So before this, you need to create a database because you need to know the database variable. For that, what I will do, I will try to log into the database and do add the new database. Okay. So I just have to just go to php my admin, and I will just log in. I already created database here. You all know how to create a database. Just you have to go to database, and here you give database name. Okay, database name, then create. All of you know about it. Create, and then once you create, database will be created here. Then you have to add a table, right? So what database I have created here is my LED. In my LED database, I have a table called LED1. Okay, so structure of my table LED1 is like this. I have ID as an integer, which I give auto increment, which is the primary key, and then I have given date as a text, time as a text, and status. And this status actually keeps the status of a LED on and off. Okay, whether LED is on or LED is off. This status is given in this status. This is the text once again. So I have created four variables in the column: ID, date, time, and status. This is same as what you have done for temperature sensor. Okay, so this you have to create. Remember this table name and the database name. See here, database name is my LED. Okay, this is the different one. Okay, JAG IoT one which I have used, that is for the temperature sensor. For LED, I created a database. You can create multiple database and multiple tables. You all know about it. So in that case, my database which is keeping the status of an LED on and off is this my LED, and LED1 is the table. Okay, this you need to create first. So once you create this, okay, once you create this, you need to write this for the buttons. You need to write this for the buttons. Okay, so this program is for the buttons, and then PHP program. And first three PHP is this one, and this actually we have to declare to get the date from a particular zone, whichever zone you are. So here you have to keep it as Dubai because we are in the Dubai. Okay. Now see here. These four statements, I think all of you have understood now. This is to connect to your MySQL database. After that, I'm going to fetch today's date and keeping it in the variable date. And I'm going to fetch this time, today's time. And also I'm going to get the status from the database. See, I'm going to keep it in the status variable status. I'm going to give this the variable status, and I'm going to get this status data. Okay, you understood this? This is coming from get method. Okay, that is coming from this HTML here. This status, this is the same, this status, this one. Okay, it is going to be stored in the variable status. Now we have to put all these things into the database. As you know that you create a object SQL, a statement corresponding to SQL, MySQL, insert into LED1. This is the table name. Okay, so what I'm going to insert into table LED1, date, time, and status. It should be in the same order as that of you declared. Values. What are the values you're going to put it there? Date, time, and status. So these are the values you're going to put it into the database. Okay. Now you have to do a query. Okay. So MySQL query, connection, comma, whatever database you're connected, that variable, comma, the object which you are actually put the data into the MySQL database. So MySQL query command is used quite often whenever you are inserting data into the database. So this will insert the status of the LED, whether it is on and off, which has been done through this, okay, into the database. Now let us see whether it is updating the data or not. Okay, so I have already uploaded the data using FileZilla. You upload the data, and now you see this database. Okay, so I will try to display more than 50 data. So I have around 42 data here. You can see this is the 42nd data. Now I will click on off, right? So whenever I am clicking on off, what should go here? Off should come. See, 17, 11, 20, 24. Okay, it is giving me because I have put Indian data, Indian time when I upload it. If you, okay, so at that time you will get the Indian data, whatever date or time you get, same thing will come, because now it is in India, it is 12:45, whatever corresponding to this time. Okay, you can change it Dubai time will come. Okay, so now I will make it on. Now you see, refresh this. The one has come, 44, the data is on. So that status will be there on the database, right? So hope all of you understood this. Okay, the next we will see how to actually see those on the, see, now the data is, status is on the database. Now you have to read the database, right? You have to connect a node MCU. You have to connect a node MCU here, and in the node MCU you should connect an LED, and that LED should now look into this database. What is the current state of the LED it has to take? According to LED should be on and off. See, for example, here in this case LED is on. Okay, whenever you switch on the LED, for example, switch on the LED, switch off the LED, LED is off. Switch on the LED, LED is on. Right. Now if you see this database, now it is having, currently it is on, and there should be status of the LED which is actually connected to the node MC or Raspberry Pi, anything, right? Now in that case, now we have to write a separate program, okay, to read the data from the database, right? Now to read the database data from the database, okay, you need to have an API, right? You need to write an API and use that API in the Arduino IDE. right? Reading data is only possible to API, right? So now inserting data directly into the API, directly into the database. So you have used this API, that is your myhome.php. Now you need one more API to read the data from the database and then use that API in the Arduino IDE. You all know how to use the API and call the data from the database using Arduino IDE, right? Okay, so that's where you can just have this transfer of data between a device and the database. This is what the main concept of IoT is. Okay, hope all of you understood this. Okay, that's great. So next we will write a program, an API to read the data. Read the data. You all know you have written a program called view.php, right? View.php. But here you are not viewing from the browser, but you are viewing the status on the LED, right? So you need to have one program called as, or API called as, something to get the data, right? To get the data, you need to first connect, yes or no? You need to first connect to the database. So this remains constant throughout whenever you want to connect to the database. Now you all know, you have done in earlier while reading the temperature and humidity data. Okay, your $SQL is equal to select star. See here you are selecting everything here. Okay, select star from LED1, order ID by ID in the descending order. So here, okay, you just query it. You just query it, put it in the result. Okay, you just query it, put it in the result. Okay, and then you just have to take the last one. See, row is equal to MySQL fetch array end of result. So this, what this will do, this statement will fetch the last data which is entered and then it is going to display it. Okay, then it is going to display it, and your status is what it is returning. Okay, through this API is the status, So we will use this, okay, we will use this in the Arduino IDE to get the status value, okay, to get the status value, and use the status value either to switch on or switch off the LED, right? So this is the API which is used to get the status from the database, that is LED on and off. Okay, so all of you understood this? Okay, right? So you're supposed to do this program in the lab. This is very easy to understand. Try to do it yourself.